Hello and welcome, beautiful sacred souls. Thank you for joining me here today. I'm trying out a couple of new recording things, so hopefully everything works out well. If it doesn't, I guess you'll see just a plain old recording, but I am trying. So I'm doing a backup, of course, just in case we don't have total liftoff and this goes hand in hand in line with what it is that Spirit is bringing me for today's topic that we're talking about. And what is coming forward is challenges and obstacles. I have asked Spirit about the challenges, like why are there so many challenges, and what they have delivered to me is that those challenges are there to, I don't want to say inspire us, but they are there to initiate us into action. When everything runs smoothly, we have a tendency to become very complacent as human beings. I mean, it's just, unfortunately, that's who we are as a race. And they say that in order to inspire us and to initiate us to move forward on things, we need challenges. We need blockages as human beings. And when we don't have those, we have a tendency to create our own. Like we go out and do crazy things. You know how there's lots of people that will take chances, do things that we think are like, why would somebody even do that? But they say that that is part of our human nature here. So when they brought challenges and obstacles to me, and me asking why, because I've had a lot of challenges in my life, and I'm sure you have too. You know, everyone has, but we get to a point where it's like, man, can I get past those challenges and obstacles? I really want to, just move forward. And I know Spirit has said lately, and if you're on here with me, what I have been told is that personally I have overcome a really major lifelong challenges, and now I am moving forward. And there still will be challenges. There always are challenges, but they will not be to the extent that they have been over my lifetime. And I haven't talked about a lot of the things that have happened in my lifetime. I've talked about some, but I haven't talked about everything. And those that receive readings from me and speak to me on a personal level know that I do understand what it is that you are experiencing, what you are going through, and the emotions, all of those feelings that go with it, the anger, the frustration, the wanting to give up at times, and all of those things. And the divine is here today to really encourage us and to say to us that when we have an obstacle or a challenge, that it is something that we have put within our path because we chose everything here. That it is something that we have put within our path to help us to be able to move forward so that we don't become complacent and almost lazy. Move into procrastination. And I know for me, procrastination is a really big one. I have a hard time not working. I love my work, but I have a hard time not working. I have a hard time just, not doing anything, which is why I took up the meditation practice, which was really fantastic for me. If you're someone that has a difficulty with those things, I really do suggest meditation, being able to go within yourself and to really find that sacred space, that void, where you can connect, with your higher self and with, many other beings and wisdom, information, spaces. Meditation brings all those possibilities to us because we really are energy and we really can connect with any energy regardless of where we are. So that is a suggestion as well that is being brought forward, with the challenges and obstacles that they have answered in question to me, is to go within meditation, that we are really being invited and encouraged to do that at this time, and at a much deeper level, rather than just a surface type of meditation. We are really asking whatever level you are currently at now to even take it deeper, to really ask with intent to be taken deeper. Because when we set an intent and when we ask that of our spirit team, they will engage with us and aid us in whatever it is that we are requesting, to the best of their ability. Ask and you shall receive. Sometimes you don't receive what it is that you want, but you do receive all the same. I shouldn't say what you want, I should say what you expect, the expectation that you have, which is why you are also being encouraged to not have an expectation of what is going to come out of anything. And another example is the dogs barking here. As I'm recording, I have had all kinds of distractions today and annoyances, frustrations of trying to get this new recording system set up. And okay, I think the noise has settled down. My husband, who is one of my greatest supporters, is in the process of building me sound studio. It will be in the same place here, but there will be soundproof walls that he's or panels that he's building for me, so that I can record when I desire to record, because every time I come in here, I'm at the mercy of whatever the noise is around. And I know that those are part of the challenges that we have here, and those are the challenges that I find the most difficult, is when I go to do something that is in alignment with who I am and a message that I want to bring out, and I have all of these disruptions and distractions within the energy that is working hard to stop the messages that are coming through. And I am of the belief that everything exists within us, that we are both dark and light. And I guess when those things come forward, the answer to that is my own ego self, my own shadow self, that is in conflict with myself and bringing the message because of the fear of being accepted. Because when you deliver the messages on the woo-woo scale of what I am in, a lot of people have come to accept that we can receive messages from our past loved ones and things like that. That's more of an acceptable type of mediumship. And channelers are becoming more accepted, but now moving into the dragon energy, like when I talk about the dragon energy coming forward and channeling the dragon energy, a lot of people don't really like that, and they don't understand it, so they really click off of it. So for me, it is really still within my ego, I guess, as I'm sitting here talking about this. I mean, I've accepted that this is who I am. I'm the Dragon Mother, and I'm going to channel it. But I guess there's still a little part of my ego that's a little bit afraid of the rejection and the abandonment of people leaving me because of some of the things that I bring forward and that my team brings forward. Because within this humanness that we all simply want to be accepted and respected, loved, right? We want to be loved. And I guess that is part of my ego that is coming forward, and that's a big realization for me as I'm sitting on here, that possibly that still is a wounding that needs, really needs to be healed more at a deeper level. And thank you, Spirit. They're coming back around to what they said earlier, that as deep as what we have went, we need to go a little bit deeper. And I know they have told me that the majority of my really deep challenges and obstacles have been met and those woundings are healed. But there still is that little inkling within the ego that is holding me back just a little bit because of the rejection and abandonment that I have experienced before, when I have moved into a new level that those around me did not understand or did not have the awareness to be able to move into. So with that being said, I guess Spirit is bringing that back around for us too, to say, hey, everybody is still on this path of learning and growing, and we will have a continual growth the whole time that we are here. When we stop growing, when we stop learning, that is when our life ends, and we go back basically to make a new blueprint so that we can come back and learn more. Because even though we are on a very personal journey, and we are here for our own journey, for self-love, to learn to love ourselves and to be able to put that love out in the world in order to help the collective, because we all have to be able to make it through in order to rise as a consciousness. No man is left behind is what I'm hearing here. So with us taking care of ourselves and really moving into that deeper state of love for ourselves and who we are raising the collective consciousness around us. And in raising that collective consciousness, we are bringing other people online into a new level of consciousness. Now, it will take years for this to happen, for everybody to get on board. But it is happening all the same. And this is part of those of us that are on a path to be able to do what I'm doing. This is really an encouragement for you to get on board and to realize that as a way shower, as a wisdom keeper, as a dream weaver, as all of these, kind of in the frontliners that are here, we have a certain responsibility to be able to carry that energy and to start the momentum of it, is what they're saying. Starting the momentum of it to be able to move everyone forward and to bring those people that are behind us with us. And that is sometimes feels like a really, really big responsibility to those of us that are in those lines. And a lot of you that are listening to that may be feeling that big responsibility as well. And within feeling that sense of that, although you have a desire to be that, there is also part of you within your ego, your humanness, that has a fear as well, a fear of being seen, or more so even a fear of being rejected, a fear of being judged, of being criticized. And those are all things within our humanness that are really difficult for us to be able to get a grasp on as we are moving forward on that journey. So Spirit really wanted to come forward today in this particular podcast and talk about the challenges that we are facing and the reasons that we are facing them. There are so many distractions. And if we just trust that will be taken care of, they will be taken care of. But at the same time, we have to realize that we have to be able to work through those distractions, because if we wait until there is nothing, we will never get things done, because that chances of that happening, if we are a perfectionist, is not going to happen. And perfectionism as well comes from a state of being criticized. And you don't want to sit in that energy again of being criticized, of being judged. That's why there are perfectionists in the world, is because they were told they weren't good enough, or they couldn't do something, or that wasn't right, or whatever they did. And so now they strive for that perfectionism because they're afraid of having that rejection once again in their lives. And I fit into that category, that perfectionism. And for a long time I wouldn't even put my things out because I didn't think that they were good enough, they weren't perfect enough. And especially when I did my light codes and things like that, I've been doing light codes for quite some time, and I always was very, very concerned about putting them out because I didn't feel that maybe they were good enough. They weren't as good as somebody else's, or maybe I was full of crap, and that may be where you're sitting right now too, where you are having a disbelief in your own abilities, and you're also wondering, if I'm on the right path, why am I coming up against these challenges? And Spirit is saying we are coming up against those challenges because we are being guided into a way that is better for us, a better path. We are being guided. We are also, our resilience is being, I don't want to say tested, but it's being put to the test to ensure that we really know what we're getting ourselves into. Because when we are on this path, when we make that commitment to be on this path and to do these things, it really is a great responsibility. It's a great responsibility to us as an individual. It is a great responsibility to all of those out there that depend on the information, rely on that wisdom that is coming through, as well as a huge responsibility within the universe that we are pulling in that wisdom and relaying it in the way that it is intended, bringing those light codes in to be anchored within the earth here, so that we can raise consciousness and so that we can move forward. Our great mother is in a really big time of transition right now, which is part of a lot of the turmoil that we're seeing in the world with the storms and things like that. And I've talked about that before on this channel. And I'm not going to go too terribly deep into it today, but that is something that as well Spirit wanted me to bring up, that turmoil that exists within her exists within us as well. So anything that exists within us is seen on the outer world as well. And as we are all awakening to that new aspect of ourself, that warrior, that feminine warrior is what is really coming forward. There will be that turmoil, and we will recognize that, because we are finding our footing. We are finding our sacred ground, what it is that we stand for. What is it that we stand for? Because each one of us will have our own story. We will have our own commitment. We will have our own vision of what it is that we are looking toward. And although we are working towards the same means, the greater means, which is all of us being able to ascend, to be able to move on, to move forward, we are also working for ourselves, for our own mastery, to move into our own self-mastery, loving ourselves, honoring ourselves, healing ourselves, trusting ourselves. Okay? So that is all part of what is happening right now within the energies that we are in. And we are just really being encouraged to just allow ourselves, when we feel like we need to rest. But don't, they're saying, don't procrastinate. Don't spend time on social media when you're resting. To go out and sit on the earth. Go to the water. The sacred water is really important right now. The cleansing of that sacred water. And my last meditation that I put out, the new moon meditation that I put out, was all about the sacredness of the water and the cleansing of that water. So if that's something that speaks to you, you may want to take a look at that. That is a timeless. All of my healings and meditations, light code transmissions, whatever it is that is put out, are all timeless. You can use them at any time. They may be put out at a specific time point, a specific portal opening, like the new moon eclipse, which was an opening, which makes the energies much stronger during that period. But those codes are still available at all times. They are never shut down. They are always available. They are imprinted within the sound, the video, and everything that you see. Here, the codes, the signings, they are all imprinted within that particular transmission. So they never ever lose their potency. So wherever you are on your journey, you are always able to receive out of any of those videos. And I speak about that with anyone that channels light codes and things. The videos are always relevant. They're timeless. It's just that when they are channeled, there is an opening. There may be a a bigger opening, or something that is more with more ease. The veil is thinner maybe when it's channeled, which makes it even more powerful because it's encoded with a deeper power, really, a deeper and a higher frequency of energy that is able to pour in. Okay. We are also being encouraged at this time to create, to really spend time, whatever it is that you create. It doesn't matter. Creation is a very personal thing. Maybe you sketch, maybe you paint, maybe you do beadwork, maybe you're an artist, maybe you do music, you love to sing, whatever. Maybe you bake, maybe you cook. Whatever it is that you do, you are being asked right now or encouraged to create from that energy, whatever that is that brings you that joy of a creation. Because as everything is open, and especially over this next 6 months, they're saying, after this eclipse alley and the next 6 months until September or so. And I mean, it's not like the doors slam shut. This is just that time frame of when that is going to be more prominent, the energy. But they're really saying right now and over this next month of April for sure, to really create what it is that is close to your heart. So whatever that is for you, okay? It can be anything. I mean, anything that you bring in. If you cook a meal, that's a creation. You're creating. If you write poetry, that's a creation. If you write stories, that's a creation. Whatever type of drawing you do, whether it's sketches, digital, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Those are all creations. And we are really being encouraged right now to create. And what Spirit said to me when I've been spending a lot of time creating too, and they said that that's with purpose. Because when I'm creating, I'm pulling those codes in. And they are being embedded within my creation. And every time I use that creation, every time I touch that creation, those codes run through me and are activated again. So every time I use, for example, my scrolls online on my other channel when I do readings for it, every time I go through those and I pull one of those scrolls and you see them, those codes are activating you within those scrolls. So it's not as simple as just saying, oh, this is just a reading. It's not. They are codes that are being activated within you just by looking at those scrolls, those pictures. Okay? So it is really important for us to create. So if you're eating some kind of loving food that someone has created for you, you are ingesting those codes of love. That food is created with love. And we know when food is created with love, it always tastes good, right? It always tastes good. It's the best kind of food. My grandma made rice pudding. She made the best rice pudding in the world, and I miss that rice pudding. Anytime I think about it, I've come close to creating it, but it's not like hers. I don't know what she did with it. Maybe she dropped some cigarette ashes. I don't know. I'm just joshing you. I don't think so. Spirit has a really good sense of humor too. So I'm not sure who wants to come in for channeling right now, but just give me a moment, and I'm going to tap in and see what it is that they want to bring in for direct channeling. They have had me, and of course, as I'm speaking to you, it is a channel. It's not the same as a trance channel, but it is. I am receiving information for them and then feeding it through to you. So this is a little bit of a different channel I'm going to do now. It's called a trance channel. And I don't have to close my eyes, but I do close my eyes because when I close my eyes, I'm not distracted. Okay? Because I'm a human and I get distracted. It's like squirrel. So I might see something flying by the window and I might get distracted. So I do close my eyes when I do trance channeling. So I'm just going to take in a few breaths and take that in with me and set the intent that you will receive a message that is intended for you and that everyone on here is co-creating this. So just always be aware of that. Anyone that is on my channel, on my site, that are members that come on here and watch these videos, you are co-creating whatever it is that I am putting out. It is a combination of everybody's energies. So if you're here, you are creating part of this. Okay, you are a co-creator on this, so I thank you for bringing your energy here because I absolutely love new energies. That's where new ideas come from and new creations. Okay, so let's see who wants to come in today. My one, oh my one, oh my one, oh my one, all I Shura, 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 greaty, 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 shura, di, 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 ararai, arada, da, 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 We are here. We are here, beautiful beings, beautiful divine beings. Embrace your sacredness. Embrace all that is forming around you. Tap into your senses and feel the beauty that is around you. Feel the energy. Feel the energy in the taste. Feel the energy in the scent. Feel the energy in the breeze, in the wind, in the water, on the earth, and within the fire. The elements are all here for you to be able to connect to create your greatest creation. We are here as the fairies of the sea to bring you magic, to bring magic back into your world, to excite your inner child, to trust where the energy is leading you. We give you permission to dream, to connect into that watery world of consciousness known as the ethers, to feel what is waiting there for you, to grasp onto it, and to quickly write it down so as not to lose it. For within the ethers, there is not form. You must pull the energy in and form it into the material world. Listen to your senses and trust what they are guiding you toward. You are being called to play in the energies, to remember, to enjoy. For when you are sitting in joyfulness is when your creations will be embraced by others. For joyfulness is an energy that is all-inclusive. It is inviting, it is welcoming, and it is uplifting and inspiring. We encourage you to sit in the joyfulness of true creation. That is when you will witness others drawn to your creations. It is not when you are critical of what you are bringing in. It is not when you are judgmental or perfectionist, but simply when you are bringing forward your creation in joyfulness and love, when you are sitting in the truth of yourself and what truly brings you happiness. That is when you will attract others to your creation. For those that have been witnessing what they consider to be rejection and unacceptance or abandonment, not seen within the material world, it is because you do not see yourself within your own truth that this is reflected back to you. In seeking perfectionism, others will not be attracted simply because no one can possibly live up to perfectionism. However, joyfulness and love are contagious. And as you create through those energies, you will find that your creation will become contagious. As others begin to share what you are bringing into the world, because it brings them joy. And because in a state of joy, we share the truth of our heart. The joyfulness of the heart sings, it laughs, it plays, it cries. It welcomes in others into its circle to embrace them in their truth. Oh, sweet, sweet beings. You only need to tap into the joyfulness of the self and create from that space to attract all that you have been wishing for. It exists within you. It does not exist outside of you in any way. It only exists within you, in your joyfulness. We are so thrilled to be here to bring this message to those of you that have continued to work diligently. We do wish you to remember that working diligently with joy is the way to your path. It is the way to all paths within joy. Strife is not the answer, and perfectionism is not. Thank you for the honor of having us with you here today. Okay, I did not expect that. That was very different. Okay, sweet, beautiful, divine beings. This is longer than I expected the transmission to be today, but it is what it is. So let's say a prayer that all of my new video setup works very well for me, and that it is able to be uploaded with the deepest of ease for you to be able to receive the message in the way that it is intended, because that is ultimately what my intention is. And it's interesting how the mermaids talked about the perfectionism that I touched on at the very beginning of my podcast today as well, and bringing that back around, that the perfectionism, even with the video equipment, I see them even speaking to me through me. trying to make things perfect, and there is no possible way to make things perfect. We're always going to have, obstacles and things that we have to move around. And I guess what I'm working towards is to make it easier. I want to be able to have a video format that I can just upload rather than having to go from one piece of equipment to another, downloading and all these things. I would like to just have everything held within one spot. It just makes it so much easier for me. So with that being said, thank you so much for spending your time with me here today and helping me to co-create, to bring your beautiful energy into the mix. If you resonate with me, please, I invite you to join our tribe. Click that subscribe. Leave me a comment if any of this resonates with you. I really want to hear about it. And the thumbs up and share. Until next time, please remember to let love be your guide.